we'll again go through the verses and see their main points. Number 1, God exists and he can appear. And as Prabhupada sweetly says, God can appear anywhere he wants by his sweet will. For the long I was wondering, what is so sweet about a will? Is there a bland will, sour will, salty will, tasteless will, bitter will? So here sweet means when it pleases him. You may say, all right, so when does it please him? There is no answer to that. When does it please him? You can't tell someone, you can't take that cake now because it might be bad for you. Somebody might say, buzz off, who cares? This is me and I want it. So in the material world, we find so much of a sweet will being imposed. Politicians may claim that their appearance in this country is the best that has happened to the country so far, and they impose their will. There are Hollywood actors who say that, oh, I got an Oscar for that movie, but it was tough working with this director. He would always impose his will. One point to be noted is that will means a person. Will means a thinking person. A dead stone cannot show will. Like if you come to the temple hall and as happens in Bhakti Center, and you pull up a chair and suddenly the chair says, don't sit on me. You may say, hey, what's that? I want to sit and I will sit. The chair doesn't show any positive or negative remarks because it is lacking any senses. And that's what is described as, this is Bhakti Center Thakur's language, that Krishna is the transcendental autocrat. Autocrat. Crassy has something to do with ruling. So democrat, kleptocrat, aristocrat. So autocrat. He decides what he likes to do. He doesn't do what he doesn't like to do. Of course, he doesn't have limited intelligence. So he has, how much intelligence he has? Massive? Enormous? No, he has infinite intelligence. So what makes us think that Krishna cannot appear in this world? Like there is a book where devotees would discuss various philosophers. They began with Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and then the whole group right up to the 20th century. And so one philosopher says, God cannot come in this material world. And Prabhupada's answer is, why not? Well, why not? Because he's God. Why would he come here? Agreed. This is a nonsense place. This is a hellish place. But you can't tell him you can't do it. He can do it. So, among the various incidents of God's appearance, here we are celebrating one. And whom does he choose as a proper candidate? Aditi. She's a Devi. She's the wife of a very exalted Rishi, Kashyapa Muni. No less a qualification. She also qualified herself. And for those who read the Bhagavatam scrutinizingly, just see the way in which the Lord's appearance is described. Till the 9th canto, he is always described as having 4 arms. Because Krishna's appearance is reserved in the 10th canto. The Brajavasis, they don't like to see God. First of all, they don't even care whether Krishna is God or not. They love Krishna because he is Krishna. and that is described as a very high quality of serving God or very high quality of love. Till the nine cantos, we have Krishna as coming as Narayan. So let us discuss how this Narayan looks like. Dressed in yellow garments, Pita Vasa. Pita means yellow or Pitambara. So Vasa means dress, Ambara means dress. My dear King, the original Lord, original Supreme Person of Godhead, dressed in yellow garments, bearing four items. Dharaha means to carry. Shankha, Chakra, Gadadhara. Uh, Shankha means a conch shell. Chakra means a disc. Gada means a mace or a club. And the lotus flower is not mentioned here, but it is always there. These four are always there. It is interesting to note our acharyas describe how the four items are. There is some kind of a division. Shankha used for blowing. Chakra is it's a blazing, fiery weapon. It rotates at extreme acceleration, extreme speed. Gada is like a club which is used, if you have seen Bhima or Duryodhan, so they carry this Gada, or Chanur, Mustik. Is also wrestlers, they would also carry a Gada. It is also a weapon of Kshatriyas, warriors. Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. The last item is a lotus. Two items are meant for the devotees. The conch shell and the Padma, the lotus. Krishna benedicts his devotees with these two. The Sudarshan Chakra and the club, the mace, he uses that against demons. The conch shell is used for blowing, and when in the early cantos, first and second canto, we have Krishna coming back home to Dwarka. So as soon as he enters the main gate of Dwarka, he stands there and blows his conch shell. And everybody comes to know that Dwarkadhish has arrived. The depictions of hell in the Western mythology and in Western theology rather, and in Bhagavad theology, sometimes similar. Big vats of oil and criminals are boiled in them, or animals are let loose on them. Once Krishna went to the abode of Yamaraj. Now Yamapuri, Yamasadana, Yamalaya, it is a office come residence come functionality. Now hell's functionality means people are tortured there. Now you may say, hey, that's very bad. Well, they are criminals and they are only punished if they are found guilty. So those guilty people are, or convicted criminals are punished there. But Krishna came for a particular reason. He wanted to give his guru, Sandipani Muni, a gift which no student has given before. His guru didn't tell him anything, but he said that, okay, now my boys, your study is over. So now you are fit to go outside and you can, I'm very happy seeing your progress here. Now Krishna, from his point of view, decides to do something for his guru. And what he does is, he goes to the abode of Yamaraj. But as he goes there, he finds it a busy place. Busy with this busyness of torture and killing. They don't actually kill there. Just an aside note, if somebody kills 4 people, you can't hang him 4 times or shoot him 4 times. So what does Yamaraj do? For the soul, they give him a proper dress, a proper material body, which even if you shoot him in the head 4 times, he's still alive. So there is no question of death, even in the hellish planets, even while suffering torture from hell. Of course, we are not discussing mainly hell here. So Krishna comes and blows his conch shell, and all the wild animals, the torturing animals, they become tame. The vats of oil become cool, and basically it has an effect like a electromagnetic weapon on a office where suddenly all the data is erased. Yamaraj's assistants come and say, how do we punish them when we don't know what to punish them for? Hey, what happened? Something happened. All because of Krishna's blowing his conch shell, and all the criminals are very happy. And the people who are punishing them are saying, hey, you are supposed to be miserable. Why are you so happy? You don't know, but it just feels like very good today. So once in a while, Krishna also can come and spoil everything. Not spoil exactly, but he may change everything. And then within those millions of denizens of Yamaraj's planet, he picks up his guru's son and brings him back, which was never done before. So Shankha, Chakra we see in the episode of Shishupal, who the first syllable coming out of his mouth was a swear word against Krishna. Now again, I don't want to spoil your morning by giving you an example of a swear word. You guys know what exactly it means, and they are equally strong and pithy swear words in Sanskrit also. So that's what he uttered. And then his mother, seeing Krishna, and she knew that my son will be killed by Krishna, no doubt about that. So she tells Krishna, will you give me a promise? You will never kill my son. Krishna says, so what I will do is this. 100 offenses, each deserving death penalty. So 100 offenses or 100 offensive abuse words, each deserving a death penalty. If he continues from 1 to 100, then I will kill him. So what Shishupal would do is, he would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 94, 95, 96, and he would stop. That stoppage means the next series will again begin with 1. But one day, when Sahadev proposed that, let us worship Krishna, let us honor Krishna, and Shishupal flipped out. He went on a tirade, he just went on abusing 1, 2, 3, 4, and Krishna keeps counting, by the way. The 100th abuse came, and here is Krishna, two-armed form, Pandav Sakha, the dearmost friend of the Pandavas, and he suddenly transforms into four-armed. The chakra comes, the disc comes, and actually before even Shishupal could utter the next syllable, the blazing chakra slices his head off. There's a nice BBT painting where you can see his contorted face. It's like, oh, how I wish I could kill him. I'm just hurling abuses at him, but I would like to kill him. And Krishna's chakra slices his head off. And in the presence of the whole assembly, a jyoti, a dazzling flame or a spark, the splendor filled the entire room. and that entered Krishna's body. So how can somebody be given this kind of a treatment when he's actually an offender? Well, this one question then gives rise to a whole canto. The whole seventh canto is based upon this one question. Is God partial or is he not? So we discussed Shankha, Chakra. Gada is called Kaumo, the key. Krishna is Gada. Krishna's mace he uses in his battles. And the lotus flower is also used to benedict his devotees. So much so for Krishna's appearance here. Now, what happens to Aditi when the Supreme Lord became visible to her? The only thing that can result by seeing Krishna is what happens to Aditi here. Overwhelmed by bliss. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Jagannath Puri, he would see the chakra. Again, that also is a Sudarshan chakra. And he fell down and started crawling. Somehow he reached the temple. And he could not even chant Jagannath properly. There are accounts where you just say Jaja Gaga, Jaja Gaga. His Grace Jananivas Prabhu was in our temple, Chopati, and a question was asked that what could be our mentality when the darshan, the curtains open, like after this class, the curtains will open. His succinct answer was, he said, ideally you should faint. What? Yeah, if the Lord is giving darshan, you have to faint. But we don't. Oh, that's your conditioning. So, when Krishna comes, there is nothing but bliss. Nothing except bliss. That's what we see happening here in Aditi's. So she stood up, because when you see a superior, you have to stand up, and then fell to the ground. Dandavat. We say we have our website, Dandavats. But Dandavat means falling like a rod. I mean, don't attempt it artificially, otherwise you might bump your head on the marble floor, break your teeth, or hurt yourself. But actually, when we say Dandavat, the mood is that I want to fall down like that, without any sense of composure, without any sense of balance. Indra fell down like that. Lord Brahma fell down like that. So all these great souls are showing by their example how to offer proper obeisances. Aditi stood silently. She was unable to say anything. There was so much of bliss. Her eyes were filled with tears. Her hairs on her body stood on end. So she was just totally ecstatic. Her body was trembling. Slowly she began offering her prayers. Her voice was faltering. It was filled with great love. And a very strange thing is described here. Udvikshati sa pibati eva chakshusha. While seeing the Lord, it appeared as if she was drinking the Lord with her eyes. And the last point for today is Krishna, Narayan, the Supreme Lord, is described as three patis. Three is here. Ramapati, the husband of the goddess of fortune. Yagyapati, the original enjoyer of all sacrifice. And Jagatpati. Some verses give emphasis on something. Here we have the emphasis on the Lord being the husband of the goddess of fortune. So Krishna doesn't need our donations. Krishna doesn't need our money. He already owns it. Yagyapati. The best yagya for this age is the Japa Yagya, the Nama Yagya. And Srila Bhakti Center Thakur compared the first verse of the Shikshashtakam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam There are 7 aspects. If you look closely, there are 7 aspects of the first verse. He said all these 7 are like the 7 tongues of a yajna, of a fire sacrifice. A fire sacrifice requires fuel, clarified butter, ghee. Our attention to the holy name is that fuel. But please do not have any suspicions. Our acharyas in the scriptures say again and again and again. Every time you pick up your beads, you are participating in the yajna. THE, all big fonts, solid block letters and all caps. The yajna for this age is chanting the holy name. And my last point for today is, he is described as Jagatpati, the original owner of everything, the Lord, the maintainer, and the control of this whole material universe. So this is how Shukdev Goswami describes the appearance of Lord Narayan. Hare Krishna. So there is one question. Prabhu, can I start taking the questions? Okay. Anand Bihari Prabhu, Hari Bol, nice to see you. Very graphic class. Thank you, Prabhu. Are people who are being tortured in hell aware of what they are suffering for? It seems in our life we don't always know what we are being punished for. Why me? What have I done? Well, there is a route. It is 90,000 into 8 miles long road. The road is made of copper, and below that there is fiery coals just to make it some extra hot. And a criminal is taken on that route, and as the servants of Yamaraj are beating him, all such questions are answered. Why me? No, why are you taking me? And what did I do? So they take away his mobile phone and show all the previous details, his GPS locations, all the mobile photos that he took, all the things that he did. So they just show that this is your record, Baba. Don't, as they say, don't shoot the messenger. Don't fight with us. We come with heavy evidence. Okay, your question is, it seems in our life we don't always know what we are being punished for. That is because we cultivate ignorance. Even if we are shown the evidence, we look in the other direction. But then everything has its limit. So don't find out. Anand Bhaiya was saying, great, I'll find out. So the definition of hell, the descriptions of hell are just meant for us to be self-aware as to what a great opportunity I have in this human form of life. And as Prabhupada begins the 6th canto, chapter 1, after hearing about the 27 hells or so, Parikshit Maharaj's question is, my dear Brahmana, how can these people be saved? He's not saying that, well, serves them right. No, I also wish to hell with them. No. He says, my Lord, how can they be saved? And Prabhupada has a nice class on that. It's such a emotion-rich class. Prabhupada says, this is Vaishnava. This is Vaishnava. A Vaishnava doesn't see whether somebody is justly punished or unjustly punished. It's not like we are saying that, oh, Krishna, don't punish him. Who are we to order Krishna? But we see the punishment and we shed tears. Krishna, what can be done to save them? So we may call ourselves Vaishnava, and we could be, at least we look like Vaishnavas, no doubt about that. But to be a Vaishnava means to have this kind of compassion. And Prabhupada had that. Yes, any other comment or a question?
I see another one here, bro. Another question. Can you? Yeah. Why Krishna didn't deliver? I think this is reference to Sandipani Muni's.
Okay. Why Krishna didn't deliver others from hell only his guru's son. Oh, he did deliver. All their punishment stopped. So Krishna had a specific thing. He wanted to do something specific, special for his guru. So he got his son and he delivered everybody. So uh, they all got the benefit just because they were there in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, there was no hope for them. So, okay, Laura Mataji, there is one point. Now, this is American statistics, so you can easily relate to that. There are some athletes, maybe basketball players, or baseball players, or hockey players. At age 19 or 20, they are discovered by some clubs, some talent search, something. By age 34, they are millionaires. And at age 45, they are bankrupt. So, if you say that, oh, Krishna didn't deliver others, he only delivered someone, these people, their records were completely cleared and they were set free. All right, do whatever you want. Chances are, without purification, without getting the mercy of a guru, the very next moment they could be doing exactly the same thing which made them land in that place. This is the law of material nature. Like in America, they say it is difficult to become a millionaire. Or in one way, it is easy to become a millionaire, but difficult to remain one. So, from the Bhagavat's point of view, we are not interested just in pap, sin, or punya, pious activity, but in getting out of this mental frame of balancing pious and sinful activities by discharging devotional service unto Shishi Radha Mulidhar. We have a chance of going beyond the reckoning of mere piety or mere sin. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for making an amazing point about the transcendental autocrat. So I just wanted to ask, when the word autocrat comes, so then it seems like the personal free will of the living entities. Like, what is the place for that? Because if everything is His sweet will, so where is the balance of our own free will and the sweet will of the Lord?
Well, this is I know, God knows how many years philosophers are discussing. You can see a YouTube video which says how to understand your free will, 3 million views. Next to it could be how there is no free will, and that may also have 3 million views. So, safe to say that people are divided over whether we really have free will or not. A personal favorite, something which satisfied me, and I'm just offering it to you, that if a dog is tied on a leash in New York, it's a fairly simple example. Many restaurants, they say dogs only on leash. So if the leash is about 6 feet long and that dog is tied to the leash, which is tied to a electricity pole, is the dog free? Yeah. Up to the 6 feet length, he can jump up and down. If you are within the 6 feet, he can bite you also. But if you go beyond the 6 feet length, he can't do anything. So that satisfied my curiosity that we do have free will. It is atomic in size, cannot be compared with Krishna's free will. This world is owned by Krishna. Now we are temporarily occupying it. That doesn't make it ours. So when Krishna says, enough, I'm coming, nobody can stop him. And he may similarly say, enough, I'm leaving, nobody can make him stay. Like the sun has risen Has somebody requested? Somebody sent an email, please come early today? No. When the sun starts rising, nobody can stop it. Similarly, when the sun starts setting, nobody in the world can stop it. Personally, for my intellectual itch, this was a very satisfying thing, that I can see something what Krishna does by just daily observing the sun here. The sun rises and sets by his own will. So that's the Swarat understanding.
Thank you, bro. That was a really brilliant answer. I'll always remember this example. That was an absolutely amazing example. Another thing I wanted to ask is in this purport, like Aditi said, like she's satisfied looking at the Lord that He has appeared, and still she has like desires. So on the one side, it was clearly saying that she was completely satisfied to see the Master and Lord of the universe, to fulfill her desire. So one way there is satisfaction, at the same time she has also desires for to be fulfilled. So what is this psychology, or how do we understand that?
Very good question. Very good question. If you don't have desires, like sometimes new people, when they hear a class, oh, in Hare Krishna, we cannot have any desires. They are just looking for the exit. Man, I have so many desires. Or we read the Bhagavatam, akama, no desires. Sarvakamo va. You have all desires. You want to taste each and every restaurant in New York, every pizza slice. Of course, provided it is vegetarian, but you would like to do that. So what do we do with that? So it depends on our advancement. If we are at a play group or a kindergarten level, we accept that. We are at a postgraduate PhD level, we also accept that. Krishna takes all comers. There's a very nice chapter of Prabhupada Lilamrita. Prabhupada would say to the Bowery crowd, 22nd Avenue, come one, come all, bring all your friends also, no problem. So there is one aspect where you have desires, fine, no problem. Everybody has. What's to be embarrassed about? Of course, we read about devotees embarrassed by their material desires, but then they are at a very different level. So Radha Govind Maharaj, in his Bhagavad Katha, again, he solved this for me. He said that, what is the reason for Dhruva Maharaj that Krishna insisting, please take, please take. You take the kingdom, you take this planet. I'm assuring you, 36,000 years of pure sense gratification without any of your muscles becoming slackened by old age or disease. Don't worry about that. And after this, you have that planet which you wanted in the first place. Krishna is thinking, if everybody coming to the house of bhakti or the university of bhakti, if they feel, hey man, there seems to be like a understanding that you chant Krishna, 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 and then Krishna comes, and then what do you want? What do I say? If I say something, I'll be embarrassed. They won't even take the next step in bhakti. So to Dhruva, Krishna is saying, please accept. For my sake, please accept. I want to use you as an advertising kind of episode also. That whoever comes to me never goes empty-handed. So, whatever is your fix, if you want to eat food, garments, clothing, jewelry, happy conjugal life, or anything under the sun, how much you deserve, Krishna will give. How much you cannot enjoy, like giving sweets to somebody who has a big upset stomach, it's simply going to make him make him miserable. But when he's fit, then that person can enjoy that. Similarly, sometimes Krishna says no. You may say, I deserve it. I paid in full. No means no, I'm not going to give it to you. And you may say, hey, here's the same person who's saying that he can fulfill any desire. When he's saying no, he's becoming protective like a mother. That's why he's saying no. So, you stick to your vantage point wherever you are in the staircase. Bhakti is a long ladder. Be honest with your desires. Pray to Krishna to fulfill them. If he gives, celebrate the success with others. If he doesn't, trust his intelligence that he has something up his sleeve. That's why he's not giving it to you. There is no shortage at him, at his place. Here he's called Ramapati, the husband of the goddess of fortune. So what is, you want material success, you want some talents, you want some skills, money. It is there just for the asking. Why should you worry? Okay, here are some questions here. Gaurakumar Prabhu is saying, I know we don't faint when we take darshan daily. We imitate falling like a rod. What should be our internal mood and prayer when we take darshan? Well, there is a chapter in Nectar of Devotion that you can chant choice prayers. Krishna is known as Uttama Shloka, one who is glorified by transcendental prayers. And you don't need to write on your own. You can safely take from the hundreds and thousands of prayers, like it is Kartik. There are 30 verses spoken by Akrura when he was en route to Vrindavan. So just one of that. And in Kartik Mas, Kartik month, that will do the job. Last question. Prabhu, why did Aditi ask for material desire instead of spiritual desire like Dhruva Maharaj when the Supreme Lord appeared? Well, Prabhu, Dhruva Maharaj also asked for a planet before, not after he saw the Lord. Then he said, I don't want anything. So, Aditi asking for a material desire, I don't think it is strictly material because she's hoping that her sons be restored, Indra regains control over the administration so that pious people can be assured of continuing their pious activities. Asuras do not get the upper hand. So there is a lot of selfless kind of notion in Aditi asking for the protection of her sons. So moreover, she was chosen by Krishna. So we can say that there was something in her that clicked. And that's why this episode is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, so many vratas and so many things are, the Puranas are filled with chock full of such descriptions. So this has to be a little bit special. That's why it is mentioned here. Prabhu, 3 minutes before darshan time. So I will stop here.
Can I ask you one small thing?
You should make a comment now. You asked too many questions.
It's a comment. Maybe you can add something to it. Like generally, we hear like, okay, the ultimate thing is like no material desires, only spiritual desires. And then there is this aspect of, okay, we are here, so I'm here anyway with material desires. What do I do? So how do we understand these two concepts? Because scriptures also say, sometimes Prabhupada also may write like, give up all material desires like that. So how do we practically apply that?
Karma, yoga, and jnana, they put you in the mode of a mercantilist or a merchant. I'm getting this hint from Prahlad's prayers that something for something. He says that's like a merchant. I didn't perform bhakti because you should save me. You could have killed me. It's up to you. So, however advanced you are in karma kand, jnana kand, or yoga, you cannot avail of this particular emotion where you say that, my Lord, I'm asking you, whom do I ask otherwise? There is no one but you. Now, this is Ananya. Krishna is very much attracted by this. At least this fellow is not saying by this pious activity I conquered you, by my knowledge I conquered you. There is a lot of arrogance there. And Krishna abhors that. So a devotee, there is a Sudama, not the Sudama of Gujarat, but the Sudama flower garland seller in Mathura. Krishna says you will have unhindered sense gratification. We don't know what he prayed for, but Krishna is offering. That means Krishna as Paramatma must have noticed. So sometimes we should also be aware we are not against sense gratification. We are against separate sense gratification from Krishna's sense gratification. So Anyabhilasha is no other desire, zero material desires. Anya bhilashita, ta is the ness, like sick and sickness, well and wellness. You should be not having any desireness. That means sometimes the desire could come. Like somebody is being threatened that you could be killed. So he says, my God, please save me. Oh, why did you tell Krishna to save you for? So I could perform my pujari duties. Allowed, accepted. That also comes in the category of no desires. So it's a educational process. We learn step by step. Better we ask Krishna, Krishna gives something and we say, no, take it back. I can't enjoy it the way I used to. So better take it away. Krishna is very happy.